are you? I hope everybody can hear me okay. And if you can, put yes, you can hear me in the chat. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. Or this evening. Oh boy. Tony, say hello.
Hello, 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 everyone.
We are excited to be here today to bring you an incredible experience. I am Tony Henson. I am the founder and the producing director, formerly the producing director, but now I sit on the board of the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. And this person here is,
Tony Henson. How's everyone doing?
we are a couple. We married for 33 years, and we're going to tell you about this wonderful opportunity to explore Ghana. If you've never been to Africa, you are in for a treat. If you've never been to Ghana, you are in for a treat. Uh, this is an amazing opportunity, and I'll get a little bit into how we got to be where we are now before I start the presentation. Tony, can you just share what brought us to this point where we are? This is our third annual group. So I am blown away that this is 3 years in. But Tony, give a quick story of how we got to where we're leading people back to the motherland.
Well, I don't know if everyone knew or not, but in 2019 was the 400 years from the initial slave ship leaving Africa, 1619. So Ghana ran a campaign of what was it called? The campaign called? I can't even think of it now.
The
The
year
year
of
of return.
return.
There it is, right. The year of return was 2019. So we went to Ghana for the first time March/April 2019, just the two of us, and then we went again in December 2019 and January/2020, and we had such a great time. We said we have to do a trip and bring people back. So we scheduled a trip for December 20th, but we all know COVID hit. We had a whole slate of people ready to go, about 35 folks, and we had to cancel the trip and refund everyone their money back. But we rescheduled the trip for December 2021, and we took a delegation of artists and artist enthusiasts for December 2021 for the first time. Everyone had an exciting time, and we decided to do it again this past December 2020. We took another group of 25 artists and artist enthusiasts, and because we went over there twice, we'd had an opportunity to visit different regions. So we put together a nice package that we think everyone would like. It gives you a little bit about everything about Ghana. Ghana is a huge country. You can't see everything in 8 days, but um, there's enough within this package that you will learn a lot about Ghana, the different national parks, the museums, the slave ship castles, and among other things, the arts and the culture.
Yep, that is so true. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get roll into the trip and talk about what we do. Ghana is very unique in that they call it the gateway to Africa because it is such an amazing and I'm trying to get my screen together. Can y'all see it okay? Can you see the
I
full
can see it.
screen? You can see the full presentation screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. Yeah, so they call Ghana the good, but what we say why Ghana? So today we're going to talk about why Ghana. We're going to go over why now. Why is now a good time to go to Ghana? And then also we're going to go over the official itinerary that we put together as a result of going there. We've been there four
Four
times now,
times. Hmm.
and then travel tips, and then we'll do a brief Q&A. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask them at that point in time. So why Ghana? Why is Ghana such an amazing place? Why is everybody talking about Ghana? Why is Ghana trending? Tony touched on it a little bit earlier when he talked about this big, huge marketing campaign. It was really literally a marketing campaign where the Ministry of Tourism declared it the year of return, declared that 2019 would be the year of the return. So they thought, okay, they anticipated probably about 200,000 tourists would come back home, and then they would welcome them home. Little did they know, $1.2 million, million dollars, 1.2 million people, Black folks from across the diaspora, came and took them up on that invitation. And it also included an entourage of celebrities. And you all know about Steve Harvey. You know about what's his name? T.I. was over there. Idris Elba. Uh, um, who else was over there, Tony? It was a whole bunch. Beyonce went over there.
Stevie
Um,
Wonder lives
Stevie
over there now.
Wonder,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? So he lives over there now. So every Steve Harvey has a house over there now. So what everybody went, and then they were really surprised at how much we as Africans across the diaspora were longing for, just to ask, just to come home. So that's what happened. It's 25 million people in Ghana. Ghana has become the tourist hub as a result of that for vacationers around the world, with a huge variety of places to explore. And I think it's also because it is also very easily accessible. A lot of people don't know that it is only 10 hours from New York or Washington, D.C. 10-hour flight. Come on now. If we take a trip, if we drive to New York or drive to Washington, it's going to take you 10 hours, at least from Atlanta anyway. I'm telling you. Another thing we said, why Ghana? Why is Ghana trending? Is it's safe. This is me here in 2019. I actually went back by myself, spent 52 days in Ghana, and they have what they call opportunity crimes, which is don't leave your cell phone, electronics are hot there, but just kind of basic, everyday, daily stuff. But as far as shootings and everything else, and by the way, I hope everybody is okay, just putting a finger on the pulse and praying for the families of and our country. But there, you're not going to hear about shootings. You're not going to hear about any of that because Ghana has 1 to 2 shootings per year. Well, we have 2 shootings per city per day. So Ghana is super safe, other than those opportunity and nuisance crimes where people get pickpocketed or to get their cell phone stolen. The people are incredible. This is when I was there in 2019. I was traveling from region to region. Had stopped in the Volta region, and I was in a little Airbnb. And this wonderful woman, that wasn't a little, it was actually an 8-bedroom home. And I rented one home, and I got dehydrated. You got to keep yourself hydrated. And this woman was started fixing me soup. I mean, that's just to tell you, Airbnb. I'm in an Airbnb, and she is fixing me soup and nursing me back to health. I was there for 2 days. I had sick for 2 days. I was there for 4 days, but we developed a wonderful relationship. And they bring. It's like they feel as though we're their relatives coming home. Another reason why Ghana is the museums are absolutely fascinating. There is the Kwame Nkrumah Museum. There's the National Museum of Ghana. There is the Slave Castle. All of all of that you've heard about, the Elmina Castle. Just a incredible array of the most fascinating museums that you can go to. And then also your willingness or the ability to explore what happened to us, what really happened. And with the new 1619 project that everybody knows that they don't want us to teach, they don't want to teach Black history, they just ban teaching Black history in Florida. And that it's just a reason, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why we have not been taught the truth of our history. And you learn that when you go to Ghana. You understand that. W.E.B. Du Bois is one of the renowned African Americans that actually moved to Ghana and died in Ghana. And then we also visit his home and explore his brilliant mind. The art is absolutely, if you're an art collector, and we just started being art collectors because of our experiences going to Ghana. The art is absolutely breathtaking. And art is value. When you buy art, you are actually making an investment. It appreciates over time. And the art there is so incredibly affordable. When you bring it here, I tell you, I'm telling you, it is definitely an investment, something to appreciate and enjoy, and then also to leave a legacy for your children as an inheritance. The villages, all of the villages, and we'll immerse ourselves in the culture that is Ghana, and the warmth, and all of them have sacred meetings and meaning, and you'll be able to feel it because it is absolutely palpable. When I tell you, you're not going to want to leave, you're not going to want to leave, because they love on us so well. The nightlife, if you're a person that likes to hang out at night, you can do anything you want. It's in the modern city of Accra, where we'll be staying as well. They have whatever you're into, whatever you're into, poetry, jazz, Afro beats, whatever kind of music, reggae, whatever it is, the nightlife. You can go out. It's always great to get a good meal, live performances, and there is no shortage of that. Right here, you can see it. One of our hot spots is the Sky Bar, which is a sky over is it's a bar overlooking. They have incredible food, great cocktails, and we always kind of traditionally end there for our last night of getting together. And when I tell you, and this is a better view of it, when I tell you that their nightclubs rival New York, LA, or Atlanta. I'm telling you, they're the best. Another thing is to feel why Ghana is, you actually feel the rhythms. Their performances are penetrable, and I cannot, whenever you hear somebody that goes to Africa who's never been and they come home, they always say it was indescribable. And that's because
Hmm.
you are the soul, it's a soul stirring, transformative experience. Something shifts in your DNA when you land on the continent and you go through it and you see the faces of the ancestors, of the faces of the people who look like you. You'll see your cousins and your aunts and your uncles and your grandfather in their faces. And I don't know what it is, but it is truly soul stirring and amazing. I can't think of any words to describe it. It's hard to describe. And then, of course, there's some spectacular views. I can give some eye candy for the ladies. We're always heavy on the lady side. We always have more men than women, but we do have our share of men that come. But I'm telling you, we've already got two weddings. We're two for two. We got one wedding and one engagement as a result of bringing folks over to Ghana. One woman announced her engagement this past month, that she's engaged to a Ghanaian, and one from the first group, she got married, and they are doing well. So, ladies, okay. Anyway, to dine, the dining is incredible. The food is irresistible. You dine like kings and queens. If you love seafood, of course, it's coming fresh from the ocean. The fish, if you like fish, chickens taste different. I can tell you, I was there for 2 days. I had landed on a Wednesday. I got something to eat when I first got there. I was there all day Thursday. I did not eat anything. I was too tired at the end of the day from running around. I went to sleep. I never go to sleep. And the next day, I have a driver, Moses. Moses said, "Mommy, you haven't eaten today. You didn't eat yesterday. You have to eat." And I was like, "I'm not even hungry." I couldn't believe, and I've never, ever, ever gone a day without eating unless it was a fast, and even that was difficult. But the food is full of nutrients, and what I've discovered is when I'm there, I lose weight because it satisfies, and I don't overeat because it's not filled with all the chemicals and rob the
Preservatives.
nutrients. Yeah, preservatives and rob the nutrients that we have. Another thing, going to Ghana, why now? I think that we are at a time and a period in our life where when I started Atlanta Black Theater Festival 12 years ago, what I wanted to do was I wanted to tell our stories. I wanted us to I wanted to shatter the myths. I wanted to challenge myself to shatter the myths as much as we possibly could, to let people know that we are not a monolith. We are all types of people, with creativity and beauty, and more than anything, resilience. We are resilient people. And one of the things that I learned from traveling to Africa is how really, really, after finding out about the truth of our history, really appreciating how resilient we are. And I came back with an unapologetic disposition. So I began to move differently. So one of the things that I can tell you that um, my travels to Ghana, Africa, period, but Ghana in particular, made me realize that there's a connection there that I could not get anywhere else. And I asked myself, why don't people travel to Africa? And I thought about it and I started asking people, why have you never been to Africa? And most of it is because of fear. They fear for their physical safety. I had one gentleman tell me, well, you can't eat the food because our stomachs are not acclimated to the food. That's not true. Then I was told, well, you can get all of these diseases if you go over there. Well, I can tell you I was there for 52 days and the only thing I got was dehydrated. Uh, because I didn't drink enough water because it's hot. And then I realized that there are myths and lies out there about what is Africa. And and also, it's way over there. People didn't realize it's only 10 hours away. That once you get to DC, once you get to New York, it's 10 hours away. If you already live in those areas, you're only 10 hours from Ghana. And then people thought it cost tens of that. I've seen trips for $9,000, $10,000. That's another thing. Very expensive, overrated. I mean, overpriced travel agents taking white folks to safaris. And I realized that that was a marketing and exposure problem. So that's another part of why we're on this mission to bring as many people to Africa as possible. Another thing, if people say, "Oh, the diseases, COVID was a huge thing," it actually shut down our 2020 plans. But COVID they actually only had 41 deaths their death rate was only 41 per million, where United States was close to 2,500 per million. So that tells you right there they were able to manage it. So that didn't make the news, of course. That didn't make the news, but they were able to manage their pandemic rate because they are so advanced with regard to managing pandemics. So there's really a lot more. experienced at that, and they were able to implement systems and protocols that were already in place and was able to contain their death rate. Another thing is the US dollar is very, very strong in Ghana. Um, the US dollar is, hold on, let me just, the US dollar is very strong in Ghana. It is right now is 1 to 12.41. CDs is what they call, or Ghana, and the money, the currency is good. So that means 50 CDs is $4. And I'll give you an idea of what that means. Because I know people say exchange rate, what does that mean? Well, I was negotiating for some bracelets, some brass, handmade brass. One piece was a Sankofa, where it was carved into, it was brass, made of pure brass, carved into a Sankofa bracelet. So I bought four of them. They were all different types, but this one in particular. And the guy said, "Well, how much do you want to pay for them?" I said, "I'll give you 50 CDs for it." Thinking in Ghana money, you're thinking $50, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. All right, he says, no, he said 100. I said, no, 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 I'm going to give you 50. I'm going to buy four. So I bought the four, and then my driver came. He said, "How much did you pay for those?" And I said 50 CDs. He said, "For all of them?" I said, "No, no, 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 for just for each." And he said, "Oh, you could have got it for 35, for 35 CDs." And then I did the calculation and I realized that I only paid $4. These brass bracelets would cost in excess of 70 to $100 in US. So I'm going back to get some more, just to let you know. But that's just to give you an idea of how strong the dollar is. And I know some people are saying, "Wow, wow, wow." So put it in the chat if you wow by that. Because I'm telling you, it's the same thing with the clothing. Tailored clothing that you're going to pay, tailored to your fit, that you're going to pay $200 for. You're going to get in Ghana for maybe 40, $50 a dress, tailored. So needless to say, I got a whole new wardrobe last time. So, how do you make this journey of a lifetime? How do you say yes to yourself? Be, be, you do that by just saying yes. But what are you saying yes to? You're saying yes to a curated experience that is safe, affordable, definitely unforgettable, because we have the inside scoop, and also inclusive. As an arts and cultural contingency, we went over there several times. We made wonderful relationships with the National Theater of Ghana, with the I was a guest speaker at the Screen Actors Guild of Ghana. So we know we have a lot of inside track into Ghana. This particular picture here was taken the year that we were invited to a king's palace, to a king's village that was under construction, and we actually had a private ceremony and was greeted by all of these people in these robes are kings. So that's the kind of experiences that we're invited to. The the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is known very much in Ghana. We had invited a speaker to come over. He went to go get his visa so that he could travel, and they asked him where he was going. He said, "I'm going to the Atlanta Black Theater Festival." And they said, "Oh, wow." They knew us. They knew us in the visa office. So we're known around the country, and we've also done some receptions and stuff over there, so our name could get out there. Now, what is the itinerary going to be like? The itinerary, day one, is you arrive in at the airport. And definitely we recommend that you come in the day before. Just like when you go on a cruise, you don't want to come in the day of, because if something happens, your plane is late or delayed, then you miss and you have to catch up with the ship. So we recommend the same thing. So we recommend you come in. We're leaving on December the 1st. So day one will be, and which is a Friday. So we ask them that you get there on a Thursday, which means you'll probably leave Wednesday night. And then if you do the direct, you do the 10-hour flight, and then you get there, and then you stay overnight, and that's on your own. But we'll give you a list of hotels recommended right near the airport. They offer free shuttles, so they'll pick you up from the airport, they'll bring you back the next day, and we'll leave there at 10 o'clock. And then we begin our first excursion, which is a trip to the Gold Coast along that beautiful coastline. on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, and we get a tour. That is a tour. We'll tell you about the culture. We'll tell you about. We have someone sharing about how to buy stuff, how to negotiate and pricing, how to not get taken advantage of, the dress, the code, the protocol, what's polite, what's impolite. Because when you go to another country, you don't bring American standards. You don't bring your American ways. As a matter of fact, in most countries around, if you're a real traveler, American ways are somewhat off-putting to a lot of people. So we don't want to go there bringing our American quote ways. So we'll talk about a little bit of the differences. There are not very many, but there are some subtle differences that you really want to know and understand. So you're not off-putting and give bad reputation as an American. And it's a very conservative country. I can tell you right now. I saw one of the celebrities, an influencer, and she was very scantily clad, dressed. She was promoting her. I don't know what she was doing. She was dancing, it was very Atlanta-like. And I was saying to myself, "Oh my gosh, she's ruined the reputation for Black women." Over there, because they're very conservative country. They're very classy and very sophisticated, and all of that cleavage and all that, um the stuff that is trending here is not, they look at it as we're fast and anyway, it was just very disturbing to watch, because I know Ghana, and I realized that she did not do her research, and she was there and had tens of thousands of views, and I tell you, she was half naked. It made me sick. Anyway, so day two, what we'll do is then we'll go and we'll check into Lemon Beach Resort, and I'll show you more when we get to accommodations. And then the day two, we'll wake up early, we'll have breakfast. Oh, when we get to Lemon Beach Resort that evening, we'll have a wonderful dinner. We have some live music being performed for now. Lemon Beach is our place. We take it over. They absolutely love us, and we absolutely love them. And they really cater, bend over backwards, catering to us. And we have a welcome reception there, and we have a welcome cocktail drink right there on the beach. And then the next day, we'll wake up the next day, and we'll go to the Kakum National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you can test your wits on the canopy walk. Now, everybody who does it enjoys it. Absolutely enjoy, but it is very much of a physical challenge. So, and if you're not up for any physical challenges, you can lounge by the pool. You can do alternative. There's some fabric making workshops you can do. You can get a massage. You can go horseback riding. So there's some other things you can do if you decide you don't want to test your wits in the rainforest at the Kakum National Park. But that's a wonderful thing, and you can even go shopping there if you decide you don't want to go. On the canopy walk, you can just hang out, and they have a wonderful museum, and they have a wonderful gift shop that you can hang out there as well. And they spend about 2.5 hours in that space, so it's just good timing. The next day, and that evening, we have great entertainment again, and then the next day we wake up and we go to the pinnacle of why you want to go to Ghana, and that's to one of the castle tours. We have a special arrangement with. We've been so much, and we brought people there, that we have a special tour guide who gives us what they call a healing circle. So we don't go in just to do the tourism thing. They actually clear the place out for us, and we have our own private walk through each, and it's a different tour than you would get if you would just go up to the window as a tourist of 2 or 3 or 4 people. It's a totally different tour, and because we've done the walk up and pay your money to get in and walk through with the crowd, and then we've also done the healing circle, and I can tell you it's beyond words. It is truly beyond words. The next day, or later that afternoon, you can decompress, hang out by the beach, because believe me, you will need to decompress. People will have a range of emotions, from exhilaration to depression to grief to to hope, to it's just a range of emotions. I don't know what happens to people, but when you go in one of those castles, you don't come out the same. For some reason, you don't come out the same. But we're all supportive, and we usually have a therapist or somebody in the group. We do a circle, we talk, we share, or you just do something on your own. But that afternoon is for you to decompress and reflect. And then later that evening, we have a fabulous tr- native fire dance, and that's right on the beach again. Another incredible experience. And then we wake up the next day and we check out of Lemon Beach, but we go to a small village. We go to Redeeming Prep school, and they just welcome us with open arms. You get to take pictures with the children. That's where we bring our gifts. We're going to ask everybody to bring in books, notebooks, school supplies, and we take them there, and they treat us like royalty. I can't tell you what a fulfilling experience that is. And then we continue on, and we head back to the capital city of Accra, and we'll check into our hotel, which is the Kapinski Hotel. And I'll tell you more about accommodations later. And you have that evening on your own to explore the city. We have a wonderful travel guide that's on the website. You can look and get a list of restaurants to go to, or you can have dinner in the hotel. A lot of people, just because of the convenience, had dinner in the hotel. And then the next day we wake up and we do a city tour. So we leave early in the morning, we go all day, and we actually get to see all of the hot spots. Yes, we go to Jamestown. Yes, we go to the Kwame Nkrumah. Oh no, we didn't go to Kwame Nkrumah this year because it was closed for renovation. But if it's open, we'll go there. We'll go to the National Museum. We'll go to the Black Star. We'll go to the W.E.B. Du Bois Museum. So yes, yes, yes. Everybody will always ask me, do we go here? Do we go there? All of the hot spots, we hit them that day. And then we end our day with a nice lunch at a nice restaurant. And then the next day, and then that evening, you're on your own, of course, to explore the city. A lot of people relax because it's just so tiring. Every day is so packed full with activity that a lot of people just kind of chill in the evening. I know we did. And then the next day, you get to explore how you can get your piece of Ghana. Ghana is very affordable. It is definitely an investor's dream because of what you can get, and you can see if you definitely can afford a retirement home or condominium, vacation condominium, and we'll talk to you about how you can get a piece of Ghana and what it takes to belong and invest in that community with a return. When I say invest, I don't mean just spending money or giving money away. I mean investing with a return, a safe return, and we'll talk about that. Just the housing tour in and of itself is just incredible, and everybody was talking about how they're one day they're gonna get that second home in the motherland. So I'm already working on mine. I'm saving my 2 nickels, and I'm sure most of you will as well. So anyway, so the next day, again, that evening, day 6 is on your own, but the next day is shopping on your own. But what we do is we will provide you with shopping guides. One of the things you don't want to do is get taken advantage of. And I bought those bracelets without my guide, my shopping guide, my driver. And so I overpaid. Only overpaid by about $1.12, but I overpaid. Anyway, if you want to buy some art, we have an incredible piece, huge piece on our fireplace that we negotiated it's just all in negotiation. You can get your art carvings. This is where you shop for your fabrics, all of that. And one thing that I forgot to tell you, while we're at Lemon Beach, we will have a fabric talk. We have a tailor or a clothing designer that will come to us. You can pick out your fabric and you can get different pieces design. And I can tell you, that's where I got most of my clothes. I bought about seven different dresses, pants, pieces, jackets, and they're every time I wear them, they're stunning. And this is just like to work. So yeah, so you that tailor will, and then he will bring you the clothing to your room for fitting, to make sure that it fits during that week. So we're working with a local tailor, and they're going to be able to, if you make your shirts, if you've ever seen any of my husband's shirts, they are awesome. And I should have put some pictures of that. Anyway, the next day you're shopping on your own, and that is a wonderful experience in and of itself. But we do provide you with guides just to make sure that you're not exploited or taken advantage of, because you got that American accent, and they know that, or they think that we have so much money, and a lot of us really do in comparison. So the next thing, the next day, which is Friday, the day before we leave, we have a special event. And we visit the National Museum of Ghana as a plan B. But I am so excited to report that Tony and I are scheduled for a reclamation ceremony for the Akan tribe. And that is, like, when they were sharing that with us, we had no idea what it was. They're talking, the accents are thick, and we're listening. And later on, when we shared it with different people, our friends from Ghana, it was like, that's incredible. It's amazing. It is huge. So basically, what they're doing is they're reclaiming us back home. And that entitles you, as like adoption, that entitles you to, it could mean land, it could mean whatever it is, you become a part of the Akan tribe. And it's also fast track to citizenship. So because of the investment and the people that we brought and God's grace, we will be, and so you will, hopefully, if that goes as planned, you will be able to witness that ceremony, which will be an all day, wonderful, special time. And we would love to share it with you, this group. All right, so that is that. And then the next day on Saturday, you can use it as a spa day. You'll be at the hotel, or you can go around and spend the rest of the Ghana CDs that you have lunch, because most of the flights leave late at night at 11:30. You won't have to check out because we've added that extra day to the itinerary. So you can stay at the hotel all day, lounge at the pool, or you can hang out. But everybody knows that the planes leave between 11 and 11:30, and you get your transportation back to um, to the airport, so you can go home. You won't want to go home, but you'll go home. All right, so accommodations, we do everything first class, 5 star, because that's how we roll. We find it is worth it. When you go overseas, you go to Ghana for the very first time. Unless I'm a backpacker by nature, but I know when I bring groups, you want to raise the bar and the expectation. So everything is first class, 5 star. So I'm so happy to say that we've already have the contract from the Kempinski Hotel. If you're not familiar with the Kempinski hotels, they are very high standard. They're worldwide 5 star hotel, true star hotels, not 5 stars because they got 5 reviews stars. But a true 5 star experience, luxury, one complete luxury. They have your choice of double or single. Single is a king size bed, and double is 2 twins. They do not have queens at all in Ghana. That's just the way they do it there. They take the 2 beds, they put them together, make a king. And if you're not a couple, they put the 2 beds as twins. So those are your choices for accommodations. And then the second one is the Lemon Beach Hotel. That is, I want to show you guys a short video. I hope I can switch over real quick because I absolutely love this video. It's on the Facebook page. So I'm going to um, let me know, Tony, if you can see it when can you see it when I switched over? Can you see me on Facebook?
No, I cannot.
Okay, so let me stop sharing and reshare because I really want you to see how beautiful, how fabulous this hotel is. And we'll answer your questions. I forgot to tell you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat because we will answer. We'll have a Q&A session, but we'll have you off by 8 o'clock. That's our goal. All right. Can you see it now? Can you see the Facebook page now?
Yes, I can
Oh,
see it now.
okay. So I'm going to show this video because I absolutely love this video of Lemon Beach Hotel. Listen up. Isn't that beautiful? Lemon Beach Resort is probably one of my favorite places in Ghana. It is absolutely stunning. You have your choice of either the I'm gonna share my screen again. You have your choice of either the chalets, which are like the African huts that you saw, or you have the choice of the hotel style rooms, and they're all beautifully designed by a Ghanaian architect, and just just stunning. And the food is absolutely delicious, and we are truly um, they absolutely love us. We are truly their guests. All right, can you see that again? Um, the screen the way I had it before.
Well, it's not the way you had it before, but
I
we can
knew. I
see the
thought that was
screen.
gonna. All right, so I'm gonna move into.
Well, you can open this up because
Is that better? I don't know what
well,
happened.
it's more like
I see. I see what you're
yeah.
saying.
Hmm. But
All right, so
that's fine.
yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the accommodations because I do want to make sure that um, I do want to make sure that we get everybody understands that they are first class ready to go. All right, so the next thing is, how do we get ready to go? What do you need to prepare? I just want to just smash all those myths. You need all of these shots and all this stuff that you're going to come back sick and they're going to give you need. No, you don't. All you need to go is a yellow fever um, vaccine. That's required, and a COVID vaccine. COVID vaccine is now required. If you do not, though, have your COVID vaccine, you have to have it is a problem. Let me just say this. They don't make it convenient for you. You have to have a test when you leave and when you get there. And they charge you $150 for that test when you get there. But if you're COVID vaccinated, you're fine. If you're yellow fever vaccinated, you're fine. We recommend that you get the anti-malarials because malaria is a issue in is definitely an issue in Ghana. So the last nobody in our group has ever gotten malaria while we were there, but our tour guides have gotten malaria while we're there. So we have one tour guide that got malaria when we left. He had malaria, and then this year another one of our tour guides got malaria. So I used to didn't get the malarial, but now I get it. But what I do is I wait until I get to Ghana, and then I take the 8-day pill. They have an 8-day pill. It's like $3. But so I go to the drugstore when I get there, and I get it and I start taking it. And it's like, no, it's not 8 days. It's you take it one a week. That's how they do it. One a week, and they give you like 8 pills. So I do it when I get there, but you can do it. A lot of times your doctors will give it to you. But the thing you want to do first, that's the first thing you want to do, is get your your yellow fever vaccine. So um that is the truth there. Then the next one, you want to get a passport. You want to make sure you have a US passport that has more than 6 months or more from your expiration of date of expiration. So you have to have at least 6 months left on it before it expires. So just make sure your passport has enough time on it from the date of travel. Also, your Ghana entry tourist visa. Now, Tony, you want to talk a little bit about that? Why I fixed the screen about the tourist visa and the challenges around getting that, and how we've managed to help people get their visa.
Okay, I have to take myself off of mute. So I have to put myself on and off mute. I don't be coughing. Well, the visa process has been streamlined. It used to be very difficult. But I will do a tutorial, and you guys can follow along. I will do and you know videotape it so you can follow along, as well as an in person, well, not in person, but on the on Zoom, and go through the steps. It's pretty easy. You can do a 3 month visa, or you could do 1 or 2 year, 5 year visa, if you plan to go back. And the difference in cost is maybe it's $60 for 3 months, and you can get a 5 year visa for $100. So if you want to return and don't have to go through the visa process again, um, I would recommend getting spending $40 and getting 5 years versus the 3 months. Um, Pretty easy. You do have to take a photo, that you go to the drugstore and get a photo, because you're going to need that to go with your application. It's pretty straightforward. We will provide you all the information that you need. The information like where you're going to be staying, who's going to be your host. We will take care of all of that information and help you with that, so you can upload that information. Now, the only thing is, you have to surrender your passport with the visa application. It takes about, uh, I guess, about 2 weeks on the long end, but you can do it expedited, 5 to 7 days, and you will get your visa back. And the reason why you have to surrender your visa, they give you a they put the visa inside it's laminated, not laminated, but it's pasted inside your passport. So I know some people kind of uncomfortable with that, but you will get it back because it goes to Ghana Embassy here in the United States, and DC. Now, if you live in New York, you may be able to go to the embassy in New York and get your visa application that way. But most of us would have to mail everything in. That's
The
pretty
one,
much it.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I was going to say, the one thing that we caution you, we help you with this. We've done it so many times that we actually walk you through the process uh, via a webinar, and then we're also available to assist. Tony is great at helping people get their visas. It can be probably the most challenging part of this process, and I don't know why, but it has been improving since 2019 though. So I think they got the message, and every time we do it, we realize that it's easier and easier and they take away. So even though it may be, feel like jumping through hoops, we'll let you know everything you need to sit down and go through the visa. It's going to take you about an hour to an hour and a half to apply for the, which is ridiculous. But with the tutorial that we create and what we do something similar to this. We walk you through every step and we can do it together and you guys can get your visa with no problem. It's a part of just making sure. I can tell you that if you wait, we did have two people that missed the trip because they waited and then one person got it and then took a later flight. One person ended up missing the entire trip because they waited too late. We will give you a timeline as to when you need to submit your visa. And that's through experience. We know when to do it because we know when to avoid peak season and valleys, but just enough for you to be able to get it back and get it back on time. So just follow our lead when it comes to that, and we'll give you the information as we get closer. Not to get too involved with the visa process, but I just wanted to let you know that's the only caution that we have is just follow our lead when it comes to the visa. Don't go ahead and do it on your own. Just because you may make a mistake and end up not being able to go because your visa is not finished and we want to make sure you don't. Travel insurance is important. Travel insurance wherever you go is the most important thing you can purchase when you go anywhere outside of the US. And also emergency medical evacuation is more prominent now than it was before COVID because if you in the event anything can happen, a car accident, you think nothing's going to happen to you, but anything can happen to you anywhere you go, anywhere in the country. You want to be able to get home. And you want to be able to get home and God forbid, and we pray before we go, but God forbid anything were to happen where people would need emergency medical evacuation. Having this insurance is the best thing. I think it's like $99 and it's so worth it. Just the peace of mind, just knowing that you can, and also cancellation insurance as well. So once you make your deposit, make sure that you go ahead and get your travel insurance because they will also insure you if you go and you get the cancel for any reason. If you check that box, uh, you will be able to. If you have to cancel, then of course you'll be entitled to a full refund or anything that's not refundable based on our refund policy. And all that is listed in the website. Medical clearance for travel is required to travel with us. A lot of times what people do is they just go through life. We don't take care of ourselves. We don't go to the doctor. We don't know. We haven't been to the doctor 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then we go on a trip and we get sick. So I'm just asking that everybody have a physical. You don't have to prove that you've had it, but get your physical. It's just a good thing to do. Just make sure there's nothing going on with you because you never know what's going on with you. So just go, and you don't want to discover that something's going on with your body in a foreign place. So just get your physical, get all that cleared. Let the doctor know when you get your physical, you're planning to go to Africa so that they know that it's a medical clearance for travel overseas. So also physically fit. Now you have a time. Everybody got those. We all have our New Year's resolution. We're gonna lose weight and we're gonna drop 2 dress sizes or whatever, whatever. Be physically fit. Start walking. We're just asking that the other countries are not as accessible as the US. That's one wonderful thing about the United States is we have wheelchair. Everybody doesn't have all of that. Ghana requires that, or this particular trip requires that you're able to walk. If you have back problems or you have knee problems, this is not the trip for you. You probably want to do a cruise or so, you want to do something else that's less demanding on your physicality. We set the standard as what we realize is if you can walk at least 1 mile without stopping or needing assistance, then you're good to go and you can handle this trip. So one of the things that I did we did our first time is we got everybody got to moving, and they were started 10-minute walk. And if you're physically fit, this is a boring conversation for you, but this is motivation that gets you up and walking at least a mile without any assistance, and that's a low standard. It's a pretty low standard, but it is a requirement. So again, if you have back problems or you walk with a cane, you need assistance walking, I'm sorry, this is not the trip for you. Do not overpack. We are going from region to region to region, and you don't want to have three, four, five, six suitcases. Um, 29 pairs of shoes. You don't want to do that. So we ask that you not bring more than one suitcase per person. And if you go over that, that's one large suitcase plus one carry on. If you go over that, we may have to charge you extra handling fee. So I don't want you to have to pay an extra handling fee. So please, I'm telling you, I tell you, it's hot. You don't need a whole lot of clothes. And it is hot. I just want you to know that please pack light, and that surely means that you'll be packed right. I
But
promise.
that's a large suitcase, one large
Yeah,
suitcase.
one large suitcase,
And
right?
if you want to bring things back, that's you can purchase a additional duffel bag or suitcase to purchase your artifacts, additional artwork you may purchase and things like that. Because the way this trip is situated, most of that would take place at the end of the trip. So you can bring out a lot of that stuff back with you, and you're not buggy lugging all of that stuff, doing the different trips through the region. If we have a busload of people, we everyone can't have more than one suitcase because the storage is not going to be available on the bus, etc. That's why we ask that you limit it to one large suitcase that you can carry. Um, you may have people that carrying things for you, but they're looking for money. But you know, you have to be able to transport your own suitcase.
Yeah, and negotiating all of that just it's just time consuming when you're trying to get everybody on a bus or whatever transport to get to a place, a location on time. So it's just easier if you can handle your own suitcase, you got your carry on, and everything's in it. Another thing that a lot of people are doing, and I did this last year, I brought gently worn clothes and I gave them all away. And that's when I purchased my new seven pieces, my seven outfits, and I put them in my suitcase on my way back. So I brought all the clothes that I didn't want, and then I bought my new clothes and I gave them away at the end of the trip and was able to pack my suitcase. So that's something that you might want to think about. Some jeans or something that are comfortable because it's very casual. The country is pretty casual. All right, so then there's shawl or jacket, of course, for the plane. Africa is hot. Keep hydrated. Water is everywhere, though. You can buy water on the street, literally. Water is everywhere, but make sure you take advantage of it. We always provide water on our transports just to make sure people don't get hydrated. Since I had that dehydration experience, I don't want anybody to experience that. Be okay without tech. When we travel from region to region, technology, Wi-Fi is available. Um, through your local carrier, or you can get a SIM card, local SIM card when you get there. All of that's included. All that information is included in travel guide, which is uh, um, you can find on our website. Just click the link and you can download the travel guide. But I do T-Mobile, and I don't add any extra data or anything because Wi-Fi is available at the hotels. I just don't use it in between hotels. So, but when you're in Africa, who wants to be on their cell phone anyway? Get fit. That's just a tip. Budget. Your airfare is going to run between 1,200 and 1,400. That's a good fare. Anything over 1,400 is higher than normal. But average airfare is going. Sometimes you can get an airfare for less than 1,000. Usually those have connections. And we had a couple people that did that last year, and they got the connection, and their clothes ended up in one city, and they ended up in Accra. So for 2 days, she had to wear the same clothes. So That's the only thing about connection. So if you're gonna do a connection, I recommend you do it. If you like leaving from Atlanta, you fly, your regular airline to DC and then fly from DC to Accra. And then and then ooh. And then if you if you if you decide to I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. And if you decide that you want to, yeah, so make your connections continental, make it intercontinent, so that you're not changing over in London or Turkey somewhere. Just make sure it's in the United States. All right. And think safety first. Smile and say thank you. Those are some of the cultural things we'll talk about. Smiles and thank yous go a long, 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 long way. Bring essential oils and repellents. Mosquitoes are notorious. We have no mosquito problems whatsoever because we have solved it. Those tips are also in the travel guide, so check it out. Peppermint oil, peppermint soap, and essential oils keep the mosquitoes away. I'm telling you, I got very, very little like bites, like three little ones, because they taste that essential oil and they leave. And then pack your patience. Ghanaians are very laid back. If you've ever been to any of the Caribbean islands, trust and believe it's just like that, but at a slower pace. They nothing is rush. It's Ghana time. Everything is Ghana time. So pack your patience, but you enjoy it. You're not rushed. You slow down. You can feel your blood pressure dropping and to a healthy level, and you just relax and enjoy. Now, people who plan their own travel on their own, one of the things you do, and I'm running out of time, so I'm moving a little bit fast. This is what you risk when you plan this on your own. You can waste time, and everybody knows that time is precious when you have to take off work 8, 10 days to go to another continent. We save you time because everything is planned for you. Don't have to look, you don't have to guess, you don't have to figure, is this going to be good or that? Everything is planned. We hit all the hot spots because we've done them all. You don't have to worry about wasting any money because everything is included in this. The only thing that's not included is some of the nights on your own, the shopping, your clothes on your own. But breakfast is included every day, and all of the tours, the entrances, transportation, everything other than some of your meals. We give you one dinner, but all of the dinner, some of your meals. But we give you awesome restaurants to try while you're there. And then you also don't have a typical tourist experience. With us, you'll save your time, you save money. It's socially responsible. You're not open to exploitation and people taking advantage of you because you're a tourist. We have so many friends and people that call us family we keep in touch with. They surround us. You'll meet them, drivers, tour guides, people that just absolutely love the Atlanta Black Theater Festival and what we bring because our spirit, we come with a beautiful spirit, and that's because ABTF is what it's about. And it's an authentic experience. I mean, how many times are you going to go on your own and be able to be in the presence of kings? It doesn't happen very often, but with us, it has happened every time. So this is our team. It's me, Tony, and Dennis. He does the documentation. He's a documentarian. He does incredible videos. And these are important dates. Right now, you need $100 to hold your deposit, your space. But let me tell you about this. And this is not a gimmick. Year one, we brought 34 people. Those 34 people, it was too much. It was a wonderful experience, but it sucked everything out of Tony and I. So we love the people and everything. But we realized that in order to optimize the experience, the sweet spot for us was 20 to 25. And that's what we took this past year. It was 24 of us. It was perfect. So trust and believe if you don't want to go, we want you to go, but make your decision as soon as possible because we've been doing this for so long and we have, ABTF has a lot of followers and people say, I'm going next year, I'm going next year. And every year to date, we have sold at capacity. So I don't want to just tell you this because, we're creating false urgency. This is the truth. I have no doubt in my mind that we will reach capacity and we will not go over. People say, oh, they'll go over. Nope, we won't, because it's not worth it to us. This is not an endeavor to earn income. This is an endeavor to share this experience with you. To me, I feel like it's a calling for me to do this, to take people back to the motherland so they know and understand that our story does not begin with slavery. So the first date that your money is due would be now. Um, get your deposit. And people have already started putting their deposits down before this webinar. So we've already got spots taken. But trust and believe, once we hit that 25 mark, it's cutting off. I'm telling you, it's not going to be what you think. Oh, they'll have spot. Nope, we will not. I'm telling you, we won't. And then another thing, I've been doing this for 12 years. I know when we're gonna sell out. All right. So another thing, the next thing that's due is May 1st. You'll need half of the total due. Of course, you'll get credit for that deposit. And then on September the 1st, the balance needs to be paid in full. Again, you need to get your travel insurance in case something happens, life happens, anyway. But don't miss out. Come. This is the first group. This is the second group. As you can see, we're a mighty, mighty group. We stay close. That's another thing about these people become family. We we have a chat. Everybody's wishing each other happy birthdays. They're sharing their newborn. I'm telling you, these when you go through an experience like this with someone, it forever bonds you. Forever bonds you. And I tell you it did too. Uh Girls Trip Ghana. I don't know if y'all heard, but Girls Trip is going to Ghana. I don't know what. I'm telling you, Ghana is trending. And that's when this publicity comes out, I'm telling you, more and more people will be going to. I'm so excited for Ghana. I heard an interview where Will Pack was talking about where they were going, and he said they might go to the Caribbean, they might go to Dominican Republic, but they decided to go to Ghana, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. But we did it first. We did it first. This is a group of the sisters that went last year, and we were getting our wonderful. We had a wonderful time, and we again, sisterhood is real for those ladies, and the brotherhood is real. So if you want to go. Go ahead. I'm going to send you a link. You will get a thank you email with a link. Or you can go to the website and go ahead and register. But ask me questions. Book a call if you want to book a call with me. Go to email me your questions if you have any questions and reservations. We've laid everything out right now. We'll take your questions. So go ahead and put them in the chat. And thank you so much for joining us.
Tony,
So
go over
Tony,
the cost. Go over the
oh, did
cost.
I not? Okay.
Yeah.
The cost of, let me go back to that screen that was under accommodations. 26.50 per person for double occupancy. So all of that is included. It's 26 per person for double occupancy. If you do not have a roommate, because I know a lot of people don't go because they can't find a roommate, we will match you with one because there's always somebody else that wants to go. We've done that successfully for 2 years in a row. So we will continue to do it until it goes bad. But if you don't, and I always say, if you're a friendly person and you're pretty easygoing and you can get along pretty much everybody, then we can find a match for you. But if you're particular about, leaving the television on at night, or you can't sleep unless it's 0 degrees in the room, then I recommend you sign up, try to find a roommate, and then if you can't, then there's a $500 upgrade for a single. But you'll have that same luxury. Um, so that's what I recommend. So that's the cost of the trip. It's $26.50 per person based on double occupancy.
And
Okay.
that's a land package only.
Yeah, that is land. I talked about travel. I'm glad you emphasized that. I talked about the airfare. Tony and I will book a group rate. It's usually about $100 less than what the on-air rate, online rates are. And we take the first 10 people. So we'll let you know if you want to be a part of that group rate. And it's again, we save about $100, but $100 is $100. So, and we'll let you know.
Now, the group will probably be economy. So, but if you like to
Yeah,
travel business class or first class, then that is not you wouldn't sign up for the group rate.
that's a
Okay.
good point. Yeah, because we
Hmm.
did have a couple people that like to fly first class and they signed up for the group rate and weren't able to upgrade. So if you like to fly first class, you a high roller like that, I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and book your flight. All
Okay.
right. So what questions?
That's can you take people off or you just want to read questions?
No, no, no. We can read questions. We can't bring them up.
Oh, we can't. Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right. There's a question about the visa. Um, no, they don't hold on to your visa. Um, you just have to mail it in with the application, visa application, and then through the whole visa application, you pay for posters going and posters coming back. So you get your visa back in the mail. Yeah, I mean you get your passport with your visa inside of it back in the mail, well enough time before the trip starts.
Yes, I did.
Citizenship. You want to talk about citizenship, Tony? I mean, we don't cover that, but there are discussions about that we can have with some of our contacts over there, um, because it's different for some people. The celebrities are able to get citizenship fast track, but the the norm is you have to stay over there for 90 consecutive days before, is it 90 days before you can apply for citizenship. You have to actually state it. No, it's actually a year, isn't it? I f- Never mind. I'm confused right now. We'll have information
I
about
don't know
that when
what
we
the
get there.
let me tell you why the citizenship. You'll hear a whole lot of stuff. And I just put my email in the chat. You'll hear a whole lot of stuff about citizenship. And the reason why it varies, and I'm gonna give you my gut feeling. Ghanaians want, and this is just from us having conversations with people in very high places. Ghanaians want African Americans to come over. So their citizenship standards are very lengthy on paper. But I know of people who have applied for citizenship after 2, 3 visits to Ghana and have gotten it. Now that's those are individuals. So I think my personal feeling is they want African Americans to come over. That's what they want. They typically want us there. And so as African Americans from the diaspora, we'll probably have you'll probably get a fast track. But there's no public thing that says that. And everybody talking about another thing, a myth that's out there that they have land. And let me tell you something. They do have land. I have been offered land already. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's a myth." That's not. It is true. They have thousands and thousands of acres, but trust and believe you got to have money if you're going over there to accept land. True, true. And you have to be able to give to the community. So if they give you 2, 3 acres of land, you got to build a school on it and your house. So that's how it goes. But we'll talk about land. We'll talk about land trusts. We'll talk about ownership, how to not get ripped off with your land, how to make sure your land your deed is clear. They do what they call 99, how to get mortgage and finance. We'll talk about all of that and we'll point you in the
Mhm,
right direction with the people who will help you navigate any land investments that you want. Yeah, there's plenty of land. Absolutely. There's thousands of acres of land that's undeveloped. And it's beachfront property too, in the mountains as well. So,
mhm. Another question: will we be traveling from Atlanta to DC? The first time we went, we took the group from Atlanta to DC. The second year, we went from Atlanta to New York. Delta flies out of New York. United flies out of DC. These are direct flights. Um, We haven't decided. We haven't priced anything yet, so that hasn't been decided yet. How many slots do we have? 25. What's the
In-
total? We went over that.
including us. That's including us. So that's really 23. But we
Yeah.
won't go. We'll 24 to 25 is our aim.
And you gave your contact information and email, right, Tony?
Yep, I
Yes.
sure did. I
All right,
just
you
put it
have
up
it
there.
there. Okay. That's the only questions I see. If I miss anything, what can I send $100 to hold my my slot?
Go to the website. You'll see the link on the website, and I'll put the website up as well. AtlantaBTF.org/travels, and I just put it in the chat. Okay. And I will email everybody who's on board today. I really appreciate you being a part of it. I didn't mean to keep you over 15 minutes, but we really do appreciate your time, your interest. Thank you. This is going to be a life-changing trip. We hope to see you all there. God bless.